Hello, guys. Welcome to the United Goal channel once more. It's me, Sanchez, together with Empress Jaber Awor, here with you again to talk on issues to do Manchester United. News hot off the oven. News hot off the oven very recently is to do with Mr. David De Gea, our number one that has been ever since Edwin van der Sar left us. 12 years, long-serving servant, very, 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 very professional. Hasn't caused any drama in his time here. But here we are today saying goodbye to him. So what does this really mean for the Manchester United faithful to begin with, and football in general? Because David De Gea is one of those players that, when you talk De Gea, you talk football in general. He's a big, big name. And yeah, so what does this mean? Beginning with how we're feeling as the fans. Are we happy? Are we sad? Are we frustrated? Are we anxious? Are we looking forward to life after De Gea? Are we worried, about life after De Gea? So it will be interesting to hear your views, those that will be listening to us, those and watching. Yes, and after that, hopefully we go into, life after De Gea. What are we losing? What are we letting go here? Looking at the bigger picture, it's easier to say, De Gea, he's past his best. Let's say goodbye to him. But in essence, you never quite know what you have until it's gone. Yeah, and from there, what do we have currently? Who is ready to step up? Yeah, we'll touch on that. And transfers. Are we going into the market now to get a keeper that finally ushers in the new Ten Hag ball that we have all been waiting for? And does it also mean we have to go get a number two that is also in line with this style of play that Ten Hag demands from his goalkeeper? And yeah, finally we'll finish by seeing whether this is the correct move or a move that possibly might be a regrettable one for Ten Hag and Manchester United as a club. But hopefully it will not be. So yeah, with that much said, let me introduce my Empress here, Jabera Wall, to say one or two things and also enlighten us on how you're feeling currently that De Gea is no longer a Man United player.
Okay, thank you, Sanchez. Okay, to every United fan out there, okay, this I just want to say, like, you should take just say a minute to pray for Edwin. Are you aware of what has happened? Edwin is currently, as we speak, he's been sick and is in a intensive care unit as we speak. Yeah, so you should say a word of prayer and let's hope that he'll get fine. He'll be okay. Okay, back to our topic. I am 50-50. Like, okay, I don't want to say I'm 50-50. I feel happy that De Gea is no longer a Manchester United player. Yeah, I'm very happy about that. And at the same time, I'm very sad and I'm very frustrated. Like, literally, when I read it online that De Gea is no longer a Manchester United player, I was hurt. Like, if you are next to me, you could feel it. Yeah. So that's the truth. First, I'm happy because in the long run, if you accept somebody in, definitely there's going to be that time where you have to depart. It's just that the manner in which we've let De Gea go is what is frustrating. And it's like it's some kind of disrespectful, yeah? So I think that's what doesn't settle well with Manchester United fans, including myself. Yeah, so that's it.
Yeah. Well, nice to hear your thoughts on that issue and your feelings. So your mixed emotions, happy, sad, but which one mostly do you feel like? I want a clear answer. Like, yeah, you're happy and sad, but which one do you like feel like? I'm frustrated that the has left, or is that frustrated again, overwhelmed by the reality that we have just lost a keeper that was just not up to the task that is demanded by Ten Hag?
Okay, it's clear. I've been talking about this. If you are one of my fans, even from last season, I've been complaining about De Gea. Like at some point, we just had to let De Gea go. So I'm happy that finally De Gea is not a Manchester United player. Yeah, that's my stand.
Yeah, she's happy. Well, she doesn't look happy. Well, I say I'm pleased. Let me say that because, like you've touched on, I agree with you. The club has not gone about this in a respectful way at all. I think what they have done to De Gea is a legend, and we'll touch on that when we touch on what this means. What are we losing in De Gea leaving the club? But staying with how we feel right now, I feel I'm pleased in the sense that yes, we had to take this direction. This is the direction that we all know we had to take, especially after Ten Hag was confirmed as our manager. We knew that De Gea was not that type of keeper that is needed to be able to see through what Ten Hag wants his team to play like, how we progress the ball from the back to front, the transitioning, everything. That's not De Gea's game, and it was always something that at the back of our minds that something had to give, and it was just a matter of time. I, for one, thought that we had other priority positions that we had to look forward to strengthen, i.e. striker and defensive mid and defense. But it's clear to see that goalkeeping position is most crucial for Ten Hag, and I kind of saw it on his face against Manchester City when we lost. I knew something was going to happen to De Gea. I knew it. I felt it, and it's finally here. But in saying that it's finally here, the way we've gone about it, again, I reiterate, is sad. The fact that we have not given him the respect, he's not said goodbye to the Old Trafford faithful. The season ended without him saying goodbye because he thought he's going to be here next season. Sounds looks like that's not going to happen. Yeah, it looks like it will not happen now. So why is that? How has a club like Man United not given a proper send off to a legend like David De Gea? What has broken down behind the scenes? We cannot tell. We do not know. Must be something that has I've heard rumors. It's rumors that De Gea has finessed multiple times the contract situation at Old Trafford to get a heavy payday. I cannot confirm this, but these are rumors. So back behind the scenes, because it seems abrupt that De Gea just leaves like that, But again, in terms of we as supporters, all we care about is seeing a team that functions well in the football pitch and executes the manager's game plan to the latter. So with that in mind, I'm looking forward to life after De Gea, really, because in that sense, I'm looking forward to seeing a team that plays this new modern way of football that we see clubs like City, Liverpool, and the other clubs that are way successful than us playing. So in that sense, let's go to what then does this mean? What does this mean now that De Gea's left? Who are we losing? In the sense that we all marvel at De Gea being a club legend. Can we walk those that are listening to us, the fans as well? Why is this the case? Why do we feel so? His achievements, his highs, what particular moment in the career of De Gea at Man United do you remember? Do you look back on and say, this is the main reason why I miss De Gea? And yeah, touch on it, please.
Okay. Thank you, Sanchez. You did mention how De Gea did some of 1, 2, 3 tricks with Manchester United to get his wages up. That's true, and it's there. And you should ask yourself why he is a free agent. Yeah, he has no agent even to negotiate on his behalf at this critical moment. Yeah, so he did do that, and it's down there, and he knows that. Somehow it's some sort of karma coming back. Anyway, away from that, David De Gea, the name, I can't just fathom the fact that I'm among those fans who used to be there live on Twitter doing those hashtags, Dave saves. Yeah, I think those were my favorite moments with the De Gea. Yeah, Dave did save. Dave was and is still one big and massive and very incredible shot stopper. We all know that. And I up to now, there's nobody I can compare to David on that line. Yeah. Yeah. That's me. He's still one of my favorite. He's still one of my favorite goalkeeper on that aspect. Yeah. This is what it means, like letting De Gea go. I think going back to Fergie's time, there's a time I read that there's this particular moment Ferguson missed a game at Old Trafford. He went to see for himself the player he was just about to sign. So I think by him doing so, that means like he was going to sign some big name, like it was a big deal to him. Yeah. So that should tell you how big, how massive, how good David De Gea was at that time. And from that time up to now, it's been 12 years of service. Yeah. So there's a lot to talk about De Gea. We've how he has had his highs and lows, but we are humans. Yeah. That's bound to happen. So with De Gea, he is one guy that I think he has done well for 12 years. He's being up to the task, having in mind that there's this time when we were transitioning from Fergie's era to the new era, David was there for Manchester United, like especially during Van Gaal time. He was there for us. He did keep us relevant on the league for quite some time. Yeah, and that's something that it's worth appreciating. And it's sad how people have forgotten about those good moments, the times that we did this hashtag, especially on Twitter, about Dave saves, yeah? The time that we were proud and we were jumping, we were all over after every game about Dave saves, Dave saves, Dave saves. Those are the high moments, those are the good moments that he did come through for us. One thing that can't go unnoticed is that despite his weaknesses, Dave is one hell of a short stopper. And we know that that's his strength, is that things have changed, everything is changing, and being that according to the knowledge that is out there, the knowledge that we are having at this particular moment, like we need a modern day goalkeeper, and Dave is not one, unfortunately. So that's why I think the world has moved away from him. But such is life, such is life. Okay, in this particular moment, being that De Gea is no longer a Manchester United player, we have no player with the EPL medal. We have no such player. Dave was the only one, and he was the only generational player there. Yeah, from the old era to up to now, he was the only one. And now that he's gone, we are there with no player having EPL medal. So that's also another thing that we should put into consideration. So to me, De Gea has been the one. De Gea has been with us. De Gea has kept us relevant. We've praised, we've sung about De Gea so many times, but it's just sad how the world has moved on away from De Gea. Because at one particular time, all this had to happen. I saw it coming since Ten Hag came, because it was very clear he was not the kind of a goalkeeper that Ten Hag wants in his squad. He's not in Ten Hag's philosophy. He's not the one. And I knew it from the start. So now that it's happening now, it's not that I'm sad. I'm just somehow bored and feeling some type of way on how we've gone about it. Because, De Gea went to holiday with a contract on the table, signed. So he didn't have any worries like what is going to happen during the pre-seasons, what is going to happen, despite having the knowledge that his wages were bound to be reduced, and he accepted that. He was given a contract and he signed, only for him to realize when now the summer transfer is here that the club didn't sign the contract and he has nowhere to go. Having in mind that he's a free agent, he has nobody to negotiate on his behalf. I think that's frustrating for a legend. And I don't know this thing, okay, but the message out there is that Ten Hag is ruthless. Yes, it's not bad, it's good. It's okay to be ruthless. Yeah, but for a club legend, somehow, it didn't go well with the Cristiano. And again, now De Gea. To me, okay, Ten Hag is my type of manager. Ten Hag is okay. Ten Hag is here to make a new start, okay? But this is how you should deal with a club legend. Yeah, and that's why the frustration is all over. People have reacted to this in a negative way. But it is good that we are getting somebody who is ready to do a modern day goalkeeper who will fit Ten Hag's philosophy. Yeah, and for us to go further, for us to be among the title contenders next season, it was written we were to get rid of De Gea. It is that the manner which we've done it, it's what not pleasing. Yep.
Yeah, well, insightful detail as to what we've lost there with De Gea's departure from Manchester United. Well, yeah, for me, David De Gea leaving Manchester United effectively means us losing a legend. Short and clear. We're losing a legend. That's the only sentimental part of this old thing. I'd say for United fans that might be feeling some type of way about it. But business is business. De Gea is no longer part of the club. He needs to go. That's just the end of it. Disrespectful. I don't disagree. But again, what was to be done? Was there another way? How will this have been handled? That's the question. Yes, there's no farewell for De Gea to the Manchester United faithful at Old Trafford. It has to do with lack of planning, you'd say, in that sense. But we all know why this is the case, why there's a problem in terms of planning well at Man United. We've touched on that countless times. We don't want to go back again to that now. We want to focus only on De Gea. So with that being said, De Gea, yes, leaving means we've lost a legend for the club. But I am very much optimistic that no De Gea equals New United. Because for me, I feel football has shifted. Yes, I'm not taking anything away. Your past achievement, they say in football, you're only good as your next trophy. You're not good as your last trophy. And so well, remember when he came in from Atletico Madrid, he did have a shaky start, but Ferguson believed in him, trusted in him, employed a goalkeeping coach, changed his diet, got him to bulk up, and he grew in stature in that goal and imposed himself, and his shot stopping was just out of this world. But football has evolved. Ever since I saw Ederson, I knew, okay, there's going to be a problem. De Gea can't do what Ederson is doing. And why was this? Because when City bought Ederson, City went on to win the Premier League with 100 points. So if that was the level of threat that was posed now to the rest of the Premier League, we needed to look at what we had in terms of to respond. And starting from the back, De Gea in terms of consistency in the recent past has not been up at it. He has been making high-profile mistakes, let alone playing from the back. just saving the ball, De Gea has been suspect in that regard. Not recently, not that far ago, very recently, the FA Cup final. For me, yes, that first goal you'd say probably was out of this world, but for me, that second goal, just moving your feet and anticipating and reading the such things points towards De Gea not really being at it in terms of his concentration. So that means, yes, you have to move on. In that regard, we are losing a legend, but a legend who time has passed on him. So for me, I feel we have to look forward to, yes, you're losing a legend, but this opens up an opportunity for us to bring in a new keeper that is in tune with the demands of the new modern day football goalkeeper. Yeah. So with that being said, life after De Gea now, because he's gone, he's not going to come back. He's not going to resign. We're not going to sign him either. Life after him right now. We have a preseason game coming up in the coming week in Oslo, Norway, against Leeds. Who are we going to see in goal then? Now that De Gea is not here, can you run us through our options? Who do we have as keepers? Who are we expecting to see in that game in preseason? And are these keepers going to even be a feature come next season, or are we going to dive into the market?
Okay, Sanchez, before I touch on that, okay, it's sad, but it is true. De Gea's career in Manchester United, I think it just ended the way it started, yeah? Because when he came from Atletico Madrid, people didn't believe in him, yeah? So many people, like even the English press, they were all over. They were saying, they said he was weak, he was not good on crosses, he was not good on blah, blah, blah. And again, it's happening now. We are letting him go because he's not good on 1, 2, 3 ball distribution, stuff, and so many stuff. So it just ended how it started, yeah? So to sum up, that's David De Gea. And I don't know, it's the universe or it's nature or anything, but we wish him all the best wherever he's going. I don't know, where is he going to? Most likely Saudi Arabia. Some okay, likely, okay? I'm not sure though. So on live post De Gea, we have our pre-season match, I think, next week against Leeds United. And now that we don't have a keeper number one, hopefully we get to close Onana's deal before then. And if we will face Leeds before that, I don't know whether it will be Henderson or Heaton, or I don't know. But it will be one of them. Until then, we can just pray that we get to sign Onana before that game.
Sorry for cutting you short. You mentioned Tom Heaton there, yeah? And Dean Henderson.
Yeah.
If I'm correct, Tom Heaton isn't part of Ten Hag's plans, is he? In terms of he's not going to be first choice for Ten Hag anytime soon in this reality, is he? Dean Henderson wants out of the club as well. So does this mean that the goalkeeping clear out is not over at Man United? Are we effectively goalkeeperless? And yeah, how do we sort this out?
Okay, as much as Henderson is not happy at Manchester United, but Ten Hag did tell him that he's going nowhere this summer. So he has his plans, yeah, for him to tell him that he's not going anywhere, despite him saying that he's not happy and he wants to leave. So he told him he's not going anywhere this summer. So maybe he knows that there might be delaying on getting Onana and stuff. So if we get him before that game, well and good. If we won't get him by then one of them, most likely Henderson, he'll have to step up and take the task. Yep.
I highly doubt that will be happening. I really doubt. I don't think Henderson.
Then maybe it's Onana. Let's hope so.
I don't think Henderson will be a feature for United next season. I really don't. He's made it public. He wants to leave. Nottingham Forest is his preferred destination, and I don't think Ten Hag would want to keep someone that doesn't want to be at Man United for sure. Tom Heaton, we all know he's a goalkeeper that is in his twilight of his career, and again, he's not that modern day goalkeeper that Ten Hag wants as well. So for me, I do feel we are goalkeeperless, which points me back to, which leads me to the next topic, which is transfers. I think I'll begin with this. For me, I think you touched on Onana. He's the one right now that looks really, really, really close to happening. Nothing has been confirmed as yet. When it does, of course, you'll hear from us and we'll react on it. But as for now, from where we're sitting, it's closed. The deal we're hearing, we're reading, but nothing as of yet is official. So, but yeah, Onana is a name that is exciting. Certainly, having worked with Ten Hag will just, for we assume, slot right into that position, and he knows what Ten Hag wants in terms of distribution from the back, structural organization that is demanded from a keeper in organizing his backline. So in that sense, Onana, yes, seems very, very enticing and promising and exciting to look forward to having. But the other names also that we've been linked with, we have Jordan Pickford, we have Diogo Costa from Porto, Jordan Pickford, of course, who plays for Everton. So we have other backup keepers in place, but from what we're gathering, right, it looks like Onana is the one. But with that being said, do you think that any of those keepers that I've mentioned will be stepping into massive shoes to fill? Has De Gea left massive shoes, if at all we do get the required transfer in?
Okay, De Gea's shoes are going to be massive for any signing to achieve or to fit into, being that De Gea is a club legend, yeah, and that speaks a lot. That's volume, yeah, that speaks volume. In that, if you are a legend, for you to be a legend, there's some things that you did that somebody who is coming in to replace you will love to maybe live in your shadow or outdo you or try very hard, yeah, to match your records, yeah. Records wise, we know De Gea, he has a lot of medals. Just to mention a few, EPL medal. I think Aspinall is the only one who had it in our squad, of which Aspinall we don't have any EPL medal holder in Manchester United currently. And he kept 190 clean sheets, 25 clean sheets being of last season. Yeah. So whoever is coming in, apart from doing whatever made De Gea to be done away with, apart from coming in to do what De Gea didn't do, he will have a lot to do for the club, to reach, to replace, or to live in De Gea's shadow, something like that. And off the pitch or even in the dressing room, I think De Gea was a leader, in that during these 12 years, we haven't had any, say, stories that De Gea did this, De Gea didn't do this to the club. Like, he was a leader to others. He was an example, even in the dressing room. And I think that's notable in a way that he was, I don't want to say like everybody's favorite, but he did get along with almost all players in the squad, all players in our team. Yeah, so that speaks volume. And whoever is coming in to replace De Gea, he has a huge task. Yeah, because in the long run, any slight mistake will be comparing him to De Gea. And whoever is coming in should be ready for comparison and such like things. So indeed, whoever is stepping in has a lot to do to fit into De Gea's shoes.
Massive shoes to fill for De Gea. Well, I for one, I think you've swayed me a bit with what you've talked on. I think with De Gea there. I first thought that when De Gea was announced no longer a United player, I've known this for quite some time. We've known this for quite some time actually. I never quite thought that any player coming to replace De Gea will feel the pressure. Why? Because he's coming in like to do something different to what De Gea has been doing at United. You know, saving great shot stoppers has existed before and will exist tomorrow again and again. Before De Gea, we had Van der Sar. Before Van der Sar, we had Schmeichel. We had also Bates play for us. So we've had legendary keepers. Legendary keepers. So shot stopping is something, an art that can be mastered by many. But playing with the ball on your feet is something unique, very unique. You can only mention a few keepers who are comfortable with the ball at their feet and being able to distribute the ball comfortably and also initiate offensive build-ups. This is something very rare to find in a goalkeeper. And that's why for me, I feel Liverpool and Man City have been the best two teams in the land of England in the Premier League for this reason, because they have keepers who are well suited to that style of play. Where with us, we were limited in that style of play and we just had to compromise. And that's why we faced a lot of shots. You know, this thing of De Gea saving us, yes, acknowledged, very much acknowledged. But these are also problems that you'd say was self-imposed by United in terms of, you know, last season where we needed to play from the back. We made silly mistake which led to transition for the opposition and opportunity for the opposition to hurt us in front of goal. And we suffered in that sense. So having a keeper who's not inept with his feet is limiting for us. So that's why I feel the keeper entering might not have quite a big pressure to kind of fill De Gea's shoes. That was my opinion before I had yours. But you can't write off the fact that De Gea is still a legend, and even if he could not play with his feet, he has done a lot for the badge, and it just goes without saying that yes, he should be respected and always be respected. But this again also goes back to you can mirror this with City and Guardiola, where in his first season he came and there was an equally cult hero figure at City in that goalkeeping department naming Johat. Johat could not play with his feet, with the ball at his feet. And it was then. He was not given a season like De Gea has. So people saying that we have been disrespectful to De Gea, I think Ten Hag has did compromise the full season on De Gea. And that final, the way Ten Hag built up that final, it was always going to be judgment day for most of the players that were going to start that final. And I think the one that has actually faced the full brunt force of the consequences of not performing to the levels required to win such magnitude games like that, I think is De Gea, unfortunately. And that's why we are here saying it's disrespectful that we are seeing De Gea leaving without even him saying goodbye. I think it's just a case of Ten Hag saying, okay, the fans demand success, and it was painful that we were not able to stop City winning the treble because we didn't have a keeper capable of helping us to do that. So we needed to address that issue. So for me, this is why I'd feel, even if Onana is walking in, he's not walking in with the sense of, I have to be as good as De Gea. No, he just has to be as good as Onana, because we're bringing him Onana not to save the balls from going in the back of the net alone. We're bringing in Onana for a whole different thing. It might not be him, it's not official, like I said, and we're going to touch on that when it does happen. But for now, we're sticking to the script, which is whoever that keeper comes in, for me, I feel, whether it be Pickford, whether it be Diogo Costa, whether it be the number one target that is Onana, I don't quite feel like the pressure will be huge compared to when De Gea came in for Van der Sar. I think the pressure was massive. But whereas now we're expecting whoever the keeper is going to replace De Gea to be different to De Gea in terms of playing with the ball at his feet. So in that sense, I'd say legacy-wise, yes, there's a shoes to be filled there in terms of creating a name for yourself to those levels. But on the pitch, I think it's a new canvas for the new keeper to play, to just, create his own legacy and story. But with that being said, we have suffered not having a keeper that can play Ten Hag's way of football. And we've also said that Ten Hag next season might not have a recognized starting keeper if we don't do something in the transfer market. So that means then, do we only need one or do we need two goalkeepers? Because we all know football is a team sport. We can't just bring in a keeper that we think can walk right into that first team and replace De Gea. Then what happens if he's injured? Goalkeepers do get injured as well. So are we left with Dean Henderson, who doesn't want to be there in the first place? Or are we left with Tom Heaton, who cannot play the Ten Hag way? So do we need to find a second keeper who, like we saw with City in the FA Cup final, they played their second keeper, and he actually was the catalyst of that first goal coming in. That long ball was not a long ball. That was a clear pass to Haaland, which De Gea can't do. And that was a second choice keeper for City doing that. So do we have a keeper then in place, or will we bring in a keeper, do you feel, who can also kind of complement, whether it be Onana, whether it be another keeper, styles of play?
Okay, Sanchez, just like I said in episode 4 way back, like we are 6 to 7 players away from being considered as league contenders next season, yeah? So among those that we need to get, because clearly the number 2 options that we have right now, I don't think like if they're Heaton is not Ten Hag's type of a goalkeeper, and keeping Anderson, who is not willing, the attitude is not there, the psyche is not there, yeah, he's ready to leave, despite even Ten Hag telling him that he's going nowhere this summer, yeah. So I don't know, but we should get two. I think we should get two. Plus so many other. I don't want to talk about those who are still there that we're supposed to get rid of, but we should get two. Yep. Yeah.
Well, interestingly enough, we all follow Fabrizio Romano, who we all very much hold in the highest regards when it comes to reporting transfers. And we heard from him saying that Man United are looking into goalkeeper Suzuki, Japanese goalkeeper. So that will be interesting to see how that pans out. So yeah, we are serious on that issue for sure. But before we move towards talking about whether this is a good move for the made by Ten Hag and United, can we touch on what do you remember fondly on De Gea? Which moment puts De Gea above many other players for you that you feel like I'm going to miss seeing De Gea and that goal? Which moment for you do you have in your heart that De Gea made possible?
Okay. That's indeed a very good and timely question. According to me, there's this game. I think it was 2016-2017 season during Mourinho's time when we played away at Emirates, and we won that game. It was 3-1. it ended 3-1 in favor of Manchester United. And at that particular time, during that match, De Gea made a total of, I think, around 14 saves. That was massive. 14 saves in one game,
Especially against Arsenal.
especially against Arsenal. That was massive, and that's unforgettable. Yeah, Dave saves. Yeah,
Very much.
very much.
I wish I would have said it first. That's tough. Which one will I come up with now? Memory about De Gea, or should I say, uh, blunder that De Gea made that broke my heart? No, 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 no. We
That's a
can't.
good one.
A good one for me has to be then. I don't know which year exactly was there. Was it 2014, 15, 13, 14? No, it can't be 13, 14. That was under Moyes. 14, 15 under Van Gaal, where we faced Everton at Old Trafford. I remember after coming off a Europa League game, we faced Everton at Old Trafford in a lunch kickoff, afternoon kickoff. We won that game 2-1. For me, I still remember that game because of one man, Roberto Martinez, at that time who was Everton's manager. His head's in hand when De Gea pulled off a great save to deny, was it Osman or Baines? Either of those two. Mind you, he saved Leighton Baines' penalty in that game too. That's how great performance he pulled out that game against Everton. For me, that was the day I shout out to the world that De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world. So it's sad that I sit here today agreeing that it's okay, De Gea going. But again, it's football. It's life. It's evolved. It goes. It moves on. But yeah, we'll remember De Gea fondly of that. But with that being said, we're going to us finally making sense of this whole thing. Like, what then now? Is it the right move by Ten Hag and Man United to do what they've done? Or should they have gone it another way? Should they have probably just given De Gea a pay cut and retain him in the squad for him to be a mentor, even for the new keeper that is coming in, so that even when the new keeper is not there, at least with De Gea, if he plays, he's dependable with saving shots, but won't have the same impact as building from the back. Just being a number two, a legend there who will retire to United and being given that will be a fairy tale ending for us Man United supporters that would have wished for. But business is business, so I understand again on the other hand why Ten Hag is going the other route with this. So yeah, like if I may pose for you this last one, do you think it's the right move by United letting De Gea go? Never mind it being disrespectful or not. Is this the right call, saying goodbye to De Gea, or do you think Ten Hag and Man United will regret what they have done in letting De Gea leave?
Okay, Sanchez, it is the right move, and I highly doubt if we're going to regret this at any particular time. Because as we mentioned, or as I've been saying earlier, we really needed a keeper, a modern day goalkeeper. As we all know, De Gea was not that. So it was high time that we get rid of De Gea, and I'm glad that we've done it finally. So, no regrets. We cool. Let's move on.
Yeah, well put there. Hopefully we don't regret. But with that being said, yes, it could be a right move, but done in the wrong way. I think I have to reiterate, done in the wrong way in that a club the size of Manchester United should not be waiting till the end of the season to kind of decide what is the fate of their number one shortstopper. I think that's just shown that we as a club are being ran very poorly, and some things need to change massively. We all know what you're talking about there, but we don't need to stress on that today. Today, we're just here to talk about De Gea as we have. We wish him all the best where he will go, where he will look to start fresh and seek a new challenge like he wrote us in that letter. We wish him all the best, but what I think as fans, I have to say deep down, we are excited what Ten Hag is planning. For sure now the pressure is on. For sure now the jury will be out on Ten Hag, because now it's time for us to play Ten Hag ball now that we are saying goodbye to a player that we believed was the main hindrance of that not being a reality. So yeah, it will be interesting certainly this coming season. Looking forward to it. Yeah, so you too.
Yeah, I'm looking on towards next season without Dave saves. And I hope whoever is coming in, hopefully is Onana. I hope he'll live to the task, because as it stands, the table demands a lot. Let's see what he'll bring to the table. Yep. And thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, looking forward to life after De Gea. Yes, of course, we'll miss him. That's no question. We will miss him massively. But the memories will live on in our hearts. He's a legend for sure. But it's time to change. It's time to evolve. We want to catch up with City. City just emulated what we did 24 years back. We have to respond huge and massively. So yes, change had to come. Change is coming. Looking forward to it, guys. Yeah, so there you go. That's all to do with David De Gea. Seems to us like it's going to be the last time we touch on David De Gea being of relevancy at Man United. Now we're just going to refer him as was David De Gea. But anyway, that's football. It's a cult game. One day you are hailed as the hero and savior of Manchester. The next, you're a free agent. That's life. So yeah, guys, thank you for sticking around with us. Hopefully see you next time with positive news coming through at Man United. Subscribe, like, share. Peace.